Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another NIKKE video. So this video is going to be looking at some of the quote-unquote whale mechanics in the game, where we take a deeper look into various aspects into how a whale might be able to gain advantage over free-to-play players. But I just want to make a disclaimer that I feel essentially whales will be reaching the ceiling much faster than the free-to-play players, but obviously NIKKE right now NIKKE is positioned as almost an idle game, so eventually everyone will reach the same level in my opinion, but obviously if you spend money you're gonna get there faster. So how big of a difference does it make? So I'm hoping to cover 3-4 aspects. The first aspect is actually the one that people have been talking about mostly, the dupe. The dupe system, as I've explained in my previous video, is quite important. Obviously, 3 dupes, so plus a base, 4 copies of the unit, gets you to the max level cap, which is 200. And each time you limit break, you'll be able to gain a set amount of stats, and then obviously the level cap also brings you additional stats. However, now we've discovered beyond the limit break, there's actually another mechanic for dupes. So let's take a look at Liberty, because Liberty for me is max limit broken here, and also she has core up unlocked. So after 3 dupes, so 1 base and 3 dupes, 4 copies, you can use core up, and those requires dupes again. And then the core level, basically at each level or each dupe, gives you 5% stats. And you basically can go all the way to at least core 7. So that's all the information we know. There's no information here that we can look in the game about. But the reason why I say it's core 7, it's because if you go to the users and then you go into, let's see, this, and then you go to the frame, and then you go into prism mode. So prism mode, you can only unlock this. I'm assuming it makes this frame a bit more unique. You can only unlock this if your core level is level 7, right? So we just did a core level 1 for Liberty, and if it requires level 7, that means there's at least 7 levels. So that's 3 dupes plus 7 to reach core level 7, and 1 base. So that's 11 dupes, which is quite insane if you ask me. I mean, in terms of stat difference, 5% per dupe, so that means at core 7 you'll have a 35% gain as a whale over someone who is max limit broken, even with 3 copies, right? So that is something I am a bit concerned about. I mean, with how generous the game is, I think everyone reached that position, but 5% seems quite a big amount, especially if you can go to level 7, because 35% stat difference is quite big. So yeah, and we don't know if it stops at core 7. That's the thing. It only says prism mode is unlocked at core 7, so we know it's at least core 7. So do we need more than 11 dupes? We don't know. Of course, this is one of the things I'm going to feed back to the developers as a content creator, because I don't think anyone wants to go 11 dupes on a character, especially since the gacha doesn't have pity, right? That is going to be a big issue. Basically, you're either going to whale super hard, or you are going to be needing to be super lucky. Okay, so that's one of the whale mechanics. The second one is actually bond. So again, similar to how the dupe system works, you get resources like date tickets to grind the bond level. So if you watch my Diesel bond level storyline, you'll know that if you go inside the command center, you can actually advise units and then increase their bond level. And every time you increase their bond level, their stat increases. So I don't think it's a hefty amount, but every single amount counts, right? So right now I'm about to gift to make Diesel even stronger. So rank 12, you saw that plus 6 is about 10%, but 10%. So it's a hefty amount of bond, and it doesn't look like it stops at 12. The thing is, you unlock the last episode of the unit at bond 10, but it looks like we can just keep going, which is a bit weird for me because usually, you know, bond stops at rank 12, you get all the episodes, you get to 03 units or whatnot, and then that's it, right? But here the bond doesn't stop, and then it keeps increasing stats. So these are not easy to come by, the materials or gifts you need to increase bond level. Yeah, so you get them from the shop. I'm assuming later on you can spend money to get them, but that's again going to be a big difference maker in terms of stats for whales and free-to-play players. Of course, everyone will reach, or there must be a max bond level, so everyone will reach max bond level one way or the other by themselves, just because you can advise a girl for 100 points every day. But yeah, initially it's gonna be whales. Okay, and the third thing about how whales can definitely get ahead is if you go to the outpost, there is a component called the recycling room. So basically what that is in the recycling room you can upgrade battle chips, and then those battle chips or faction chips allows you to increase the combat power of a specific type or a specific faction, and these requires these energy shards, and also faction require energy shards and faction shards. And right now the way to get these shards, the energy shards can be received from the passive income of the outpost defense system, but whales will be able to go into the shop and then use dupe currency to buy these, right? So those are shards for types and shards for factions, and then of course the energy. But of course, if you are not a whale, you won't have a lot of shards, and you won't be able to buy those from the store. So again, whales will get that advantage to use the shard label shop and get more of these mats to buy out the faction and the typing upgrades. So those three things, the core up, the bonding, and the recycling room, are things that, you know, a whale can really pull ahead in terms of power and stats, right? I'm going to again feed them all back to the developers. I think there needs to be somewhat of a reduced stat almost on what it provides. Like the core up may be limited to 5 and don't have the stat be 5% boost. The bond limited to 10. Why are you going over 10? It doesn't make sense. There's no new story. And then the recycling room, fine, that's okay, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to be super competitive, so I'm not going to wail that hard on the game. I just want my favorite units. As long as I leave max limit broken, it's fine. But you know, it's not that great to see the core up mechanics being at least 7 levels, right? Because 11 dupes is a lot. Other games don't really, you know, require 11 dupes initially, because I'm sure there are more game mechanics later on that requires you to level up units. But yeah, I've had my rant long enough, but this is a quick rundown of kind of the whale mechanics that exist in the game so far in the CBT1. I'll feed this back to the team, and hopefully things are being changed, or if not, then I'm sure community will find a way to see how we can circumvent this or overcome this as dolphins or free-to-play players. But yeah, I'll have more videos on my channel regarding NIKKE, so if you haven't subscribed, please do, and I'll see you guys in the next time.